Princess Diana was adored by millions, photographed by thousands, and surrounded by the grandest rooms in the world. Yet she often felt profoundly alone. The palace was filled with polished floors and glittering chandeliers, but very little warmth. People bowed, smiled, and spoke with elegance. Yet hardly anyone looked at her as a woman with fears, hopes, tenderness, and longing. In those early years of royalty, Diana struggled under a quiet weight. She wanted connection more than admiration, honesty more than etiquette, love more than duty. It was 1986, during a charity gala in London. The ballroom inside the estate was crowded, soft music floating over the clinking of glasses. Guests in tuxedos and exquisite gowns drifted from conversation to conversation, discussing politics, finance, or the latest opera performance. Diana moved gracefully through the room, smiling politely, answering the same questions again and again, laughing at jokes she barely heard. Cameras flashed every time she turned her head, capturing each small movement as if she were an artifact and not a living person. She excused herself, seeking a moment of silence. Leaving the ballroom behind, Diana slipped into a quieter hallway draped with long burgundy curtains and antique portraits that watched her like silent guardians. She inhaled deeply, grateful for the stillness. The palace had many rooms, yet privacy was rare, unless she created it herself. She walked toward a smaller reception room where the lights were dimmer and the air calmer. She thought she would be alone. She welcomed the idea of solitude. But someone else was there. A man stood by the fireplace, looking at a framed photograph on the mantel. He wore a dark tailored suit, not too formal, with a loosened bow tie, as if he had escaped the ballroom after growing weary of structured elegance. Diana recognized him vaguely from the guest list. Thomas Kensington, a historian she had briefly spoken to at a charity event months earlier. He was respected in academic circles, known for writing meticulously researched biographies about forgotten war veterans and unsung medical workers. Diana remembered his calm presence. He had spoken to her without nervousness, without grandiosity, without the exhausting stiffness she often encountered. Thomas heard Diana's footsteps and turned. He bowed slightly, not ceremonially, but respectfully. "Your Royal Highness," he said softly. "Please," Diana replied, lifting a hand. "It's just Diana tonight. I came to hide." Thomas smiled gently. "I did the same. The ballroom feels a bit heavy." Diana sat down on a velvet sofa, pressing her palms together to regain her composure. "Sometimes it feels like people come to these events just to observe each other, not to feel anything real." Thomas nodded slowly. "I've noticed that." Diana looked at him curiously. "Why are you here then?" "My sister organized part of the fundraising," he said. "I'm here to support her work, not to mingle with aristocrats." Diana laughed softly, a real laugh, not a ceremonial one. It surprised her. Thomas moved toward the sofa, but kept an appropriate distance. "May I sit?" "Of course," Diana said politely. For a moment, neither spoke. The silence between them wasn't awkward. It was a relief. Diana broke it first. "Do you ever feel invisible in a room full of people?" she asked, staring into the fireplace. Thomas looked at her gently. "Only when I'm surrounded by people who are pretending." Diana turned her head slightly toward him. "I feel that every day." Thomas studied her expression. "The palace must be difficult." "It's not the palace," Diana said quietly. "It's the expectations. There are rules for everything. How to greet, how to smile, how to sit, how to speak about nothing at all. People want me to be the idea they have in their minds, not the woman who actually exists." Thomas let her speak without interruption. He didn't lean forward the way reporters did. He didn't ask invasive questions. He simply listened, with warmth and patience. Diana sighed deeply. Sometimes I feel as if I give everything away. My time, my kindness, my energy. And yet no one knows the part of me that wants to be held when the night gets quiet. Her voice cracked a little. Thomas looked down, absorbing her honesty. Diana blinked rapidly, trying to erase the vulnerability that had escaped her so unexpectedly. "Forgive me," she said. "I don't know why I'm saying all of this." "You don't need to apologize," Thomas whispered. "You're allowed to be human." Diana stared at him, surprised by the softness in his tone. "Most people don't talk to me that way," she said. "Most people don't know how," Thomas replied. Diana laughed again, quietly, warmly. The conversation continued, gently, slowly, about music, art, childhood memories, small joys, small regrets. The longer they talked, the more Diana felt her heart settle. She wasn't being judged, advised, or monitored. She felt seen. After nearly an hour, Thomas stood and walked to the record player near the window. Without asking, he selected a soft jazz track and placed the needle down. The music was low, graceful, something from the 1940s. Diana tilted her head. "I love this song." "I thought you might," Thomas said. "It's nostalgic in the right way, familiar but not heavy." He held out a hand, not formally, not romantically, just gently. "Would you like to dance?" Diana hesitated. No one ever asked her that without cameras involved, without obligations, without choreography. She took his hand. They began to dance, close enough to feel each other's breath, but not inappropriate, not hungry. Just soft movement, two silhouettes swaying in a room lit only by the fireplace. Diana leaned her head slightly near his shoulder, exhaling the stress she had held in her chest for days. "This feels peaceful," she whispered. Thomas replied quietly, "You deserve peace." Diana closed her eyes. For the first time in a long time, she felt held, gently, respectfully, with no hidden agenda, just presence. As the song continued, Thomas brushed a loose strand of hair behind her ear. The gesture was intimate but safe, the kind that says, "I see you, not your crown." Diana's heartbeat softened. When the music ended, Diana didn't step away immediately. Her voice was barely above a whisper. "I had forgotten what it feels like to be close to someone without expecting perfection." Thomas touched her cheek lightly, not possessively, not demandingly. Just one moment of delicate warmth. "If you ever need to talk," he murmured, "you can find me without bowing, without cameras, without rules." Diana's eyes glistened. "Thank you," she said. Thomas leaned forward, and Diana met him halfway. A slow, soft kiss, barely a breath, not rushed, not desperate, not scandalous. It was the kind of kiss that said, "I understand you, not I want you." When their lips parted, neither spoke. They sat together near the fireplace, holding hands gently, heads resting against each other. Nothing more, nothing less. The kind of closeness that nourished the heart without consuming it. Before dawn, Diana stood. "I should go," she whispered. Thomas nodded. "I know." She looked at him deeply. "Tonight will stay with me." Thomas kissed the back of her hand, old-fashioned, reverent. "And with me," he replied. Diana walked toward the hallway, her heels silent against the carpet. At the door, she turned. "No one must ever know," she said. "No one ever will," Thomas answered. And like every secret that belongs to the heart alone, the night ended quietly. Diana never saw Thomas again. But years later, when she spoke publicly about loneliness, compassion, and the need for simple human kindness, part of her voice carried the memory of that evening. A night when she was not a princess, not a photograph, not a symbol, but simply a woman who had been held with honesty and gentleness, just once when she most needed it.